Welcome back to the Immaculata Church Project here in St. Mary's, Kansas. Today we're going to switch gears a bit from talking about construction project and instead talk about one of the major furnishings in the church, our organ. I'm here today in the choir loft with a special guest, Dr. Andrew Childs. Dr. Andrew Childs is the chair of our organ committee. He is also the head of our music departments at St. Mary's Academy and College and our choir director. Today, Dr. Andrew is going to talk about our organ.
Thanks, Bill. As you know, very early on we had to make some crucial decisions about the organ because a lot of the systems that support the organ have to be built into the structure. Very early on, we knew that an electronic instrument would not be sufficient for this space, and we decided to go with a traditional pipe organ. We have chosen to build this organ, Quimby Pipe Organ Builders from Warrensburg, Missouri. We're very excited about that. They've given us a wonderful plan that fits our budget, which includes mostly new material, but some vintage pipes. This is crucial, though, that they've given the build an opus number, which means they consider it a new instrument rather than a reinstallation. Now, 2 organs. We have one down in the transept. Let's go look at that. We're now in the southwest corner of the transept. To give you an idea of exactly where we are, behind that wall is St. Joseph's Side Chapel. And in the corner behind me, we are going to have a completely independent, smaller organ. This is the Aeolian Skinner Opus 1483, originally 1966. And this will support our smaller liturgical functions on the main altar, such as the Divine Office and daily sung masses.
As you can see, a lot goes into building a church, a lot goes into building these organs. So let's go down to Warrensburg and talk to the organ builders and find that process out.
Now we're here in Warrensburg at Quimby Pipe Organ. I'm very pleased to introduce Mike Quimby, president and founder of Quimby Pipe Organs, 50 years in business. And this is Chris Emerson, who's going to run us through the process. And we're going to see a lot of the pieces that will be very similar to the ones in both of the organs. Actually, we have a lot of the Aeolian Skinner parts there. Let's go see the shop.
Right now, they're assembling the actions into these chests, and we try to make them very serviceable so you can get them out efficiently. We use everything is done with screws and springs to adjust with humidity.
Does this have pipes in it, or what's in this box?
Well, this is an upside down right now, and so what this has is valves. This is just a simple valve board. These are all leather. The white pads on top are a combination of felt and leather, one for each pipe. So that when they set at the console and play, now we don't have the action boards, I'll show you those over there that have the magnets on, that when they play a note it actuates a magnet, which allows this to exhaust. When that allows that to exhaust, the pressure inside the chest will collapse that valve and allow the air to go out through the foot of the pipe.
This is the main box for the transept organ. And you definitely know the manufacturer because all the magnets are labeled Aeolian Skinner. There you go. So what you saw over here with the little nipples and everything, all this, they will all be fitted with spring inserts like what you see over there that's new. All this will come out because it's busily turning back to dinosaur.
Yeah.
All this will come out. Everything will be redone. Well, let's go look at some new things. Detour away from the pipe shop a minute. This is the reed voicing room. So it actually will play. Up close.
This device, this setup,
This is
test those pipes?
no, it's to actually voice them.
Voice them. Make
Yes,
sure that they're saying what they're supposed to be saying.
exactly.
Okay.
Because the ones you were picking up out there, they actually have, that's what's in the bottom.
So that's the reed that makes the.
Yes, against the shallot,
So we're wedged in there with a block of
maple.
maple, and we've got brass and copper.
Well, this is
Bronze?
brass. This is phosphor bronze on the tongue. And then phosphor bronze tuning wire.
And you can move that up or down, and that changes the sound.
That's a regulating device. And actually, these can be tuned very quickly with just a slight movement on the top. It's done in the English style. And we do all of our reeds like that because of tuning stability.
Now, will the pipes that are in our transept organ
Yes.
be like these?
No, they'll be pretty.
Those are pretty.
They'll be pretty.
Well, these are pretty, you know, but I mean,
they'll
there'll be a different level
visually
of pretty.
attractive.
Very pretty.
Well, we hope you have learned a lot about the organ building process. We certainly have. And I think now I wanted to ask Mike about some of the specifics now that we're a little bit more in mind of that. So tell us about our gallery organ in terms of some of the specifications of that instrument.
The gallery organ that you will have has 20 ranks. It is initially provided from the beginning with a 3-manual console, so additions are possible. The instrument will feature a fully developed grate division capable of leading and accompanying worship. It'll have a complete diapason or principal chorus in the grate from an 8-foot up to a mixture, and then there will be a trumpet in the grate, and then flutes, and on the 3rd manual will be called the swell because the pipes are enclosed in a box with louvers like Venetian blinds, and it will have a organ type imitative strings. It will have various flute stops, and it will have a minor diapason chorus. And it will have another reed called an oboe, and then the pedal played with the feet will have a 16-foot metal diapason that you'll see in the case, and a 16-foot violone that also is in one side of the case. And then you'll see the woodwork of everything, and it will be finished to look like it all knits perfectly with the decor of the worship space.
Probably using the same color scheme upstairs as we are throughout
the building, so it'll all look uniform. We always say the best organ stop is the room, so that's what we're waiting to see. And one of the superb features of this instrument, it speaks from a high point in the balcony. It will descend from heaven, so to speak, over the people in the nave up to all the parishioners and for anything. Despite it may be a limited number of ranks, the primary components are there of any large instrument. It all depends on the voicing of the instrument, how it's going to function. Because 20 ranks you could put in a house, but you're not going to have your organ in a house, so it has to be scaled and voiced accordingly. So that describes the organ in the balcony. The Aeolian Skinner that's down in the transept, that will be basically the primary instrument for all the daily functions of worship. So it will get probably considerably more use than the main organ in the balcony. So
And some of the specs on that are?
it has flutes, principals, it has a mixture. There's no reeds. It's 7 ranks. And it will be exposed where you will physically see the pipes, whereas the organ in the balcony will be in a organ case. So you'll have a style in the balcony that represents what people view as a traditional looking organ, like you might find in Europe, and what you'll find in the transept is an organ that features what was common in this country maybe 40, 50 years ago with exposed pipework, very beautifully organized and sparkly and clear and unimpeded access to speak.
So two really distinct instruments.
Distinct instruments. One will be heroic, the other one will be in miniature
Fantastic.
to accompany a smaller group of worshipers.
All right. Thanks for those descriptions,
Thank
Mike.
you. You're welcome.